Hey, welcome back. This is going to be a video on faction missions in Monarchs Bluff. Just take a look at the map so you can see where we are. We're going to be picking up 3 missions today. Show of Strength, Infiltrate, and Enemy Intelligence. This is one of the few locations. I'm actually going to grab Corruption Breach as well, but this is one of the few locations where we can actually do 3 missions because they're all relatively close. So we're going to jump out of town over this mountain ridge, pass by the Infiltrate. We'll pick it up on the way. We'll do that one last. Run all the way over to the war camp, grab the 5 chests, climb the hill, pass these wolves, come back to Show of Strength, and then pick up Infiltrate and return to town. So it's going to be a little bit of a circle, but it does allow us to get 3 faction missions in, and it will advance the PvP track. This is one of the few places in Eternum where you can actually get away with doing 3 faction missions in one trip without you having to go out of your way. So what I do is I jump down from the mountainside leaving town, run down the path. And like I said, I don't pick up the Infiltrate going. I pick it up on the way back. And normally by the time you pass these little wooden planks, your flag should be on. I think mine's going to be showing up in about 5 seconds. So let's look behind us to make sure there's nobody coming. That's the case. So we run across to the watery area, and I'll show you on the map where we are. So there's our first faction mission, but again, we're going to pass that. There's no need to grab that now. Grab it on the way back when we're heading in. I'm going to keep on running straight over to the war camp. So our destination is number 3 first. All these guys are relatively low monsters, so you can kill them or not kill them, it doesn't matter. This is kind of like a starter area. These guys don't mean anything. They're not dangerous. You can stop. They can't kill you, especially if you're level 60. But if you're not level 60, then maybe you want to kill them. Looking around to make sure I'm not being followed by any real players. See anybody. And I'm going to take this path all the way to the war camp. Surprisingly, there was a guy out here level 56. There's another dude level 36 out here. Normally you don't see anybody moving around. So those guys could have easily have been flagged. I have no idea what they're doing. One guy didn't even have a faction, but that's neither here nor there. Let's just go ahead and secure our chest as quickly as possible. But it is a little unusual to see movement out here. It does appear that we, as the Marauders, have the fort already under control. Sometimes I'll grab that first if it's not under Marauder control before I do any missions, because the more missions that you have active on you when you get killed, the larger the bag. Well, the better the reward in the bag for the person who kills you. So this is one of the reasons why I try to do the more complicated mission first. This guy just grab, he's harvesting, I guess. Going to the war camp. So this is our first war camp video. Most of the war camps in Eternum look the same, except for the new one that they added in Brimstone. And in the Brimstone war camp, you have 3 chests on the outside and 2 on the inside, whereas all the other war camps, there's 3 chests on the inside and 2 on the outside. We reversed it for Brimstone. Also, the tent is larger in the Brimstone war camp. is our last chest. Take a look at the map. We've satisfied that mission. It's gone. Now we're going to leave out and run up that hillside over here. I don't like to go straight down the path just because that's the direction anybody else, including the opposition, would be traveling. So I'm going to travel down a different direction to kind of assure that I'm going to be able to get back. I don't want to run into people when I'm trying to turn these missions in. So less likely that I'm going to run into somebody coming from this direction. That doesn't mean that somebody's not going to be up here, but you're not going to have people traveling towards the war camp from this direction in general. So I'll cut across this mountaintop. Sometimes I'll kill things, sometimes I won't. Also, there's some iron ore up here if you're interested in mining. Now, here's a little tricky thing that I do at this location. The show of strength is basically this beach. But what I'll do is I'll stay on the cliffs and I'll just run along and find the spot where it activates the mission. So right here, it tried to turn on. Let's see. All right, I think we're on now. So right here, I can just chill right here. Nobody sees me. Even if somebody else is doing missions in this area, I'm secure. If I'm really concerned, I'll go down prone. They're definitely not seeing me. I'll just wait here for 1 minute and 30 seconds for the show of strength, and we'll keep going. Now, that's the safety route. Now, sometimes I'll fish. You basically 1 minute and 30 seconds is enough time for you to catch 2 to 3 fish, nothing more. But depending on the server population and how much PvP traffic there is, you might not want to be visible to someone from a distance. So this is why you see me on the side of this mountain. It also allows me to recon what is going on around me. I have killed many of people on the surprise attack coming around this side because they just don't see, especially if you're prone, you cannot see the player's flag, let alone the player at all. So you can definitely ambush somebody who's not alert. And for a range player, you know, doing as much damage as you can before your target has the opportunity to respond is good. All right, so that's 1 minute and 30 seconds. We're going to go on. So that's 2 out of the 3 missions complete. Now, the last mission that we're going to complete is the infiltrate, and that's the one that we passed first initially. And we're just going to grab the asset and take it to another location on our way back to town. So we're completing the circle. If I look at the map, you'll see we've come all the way out, gone all the way over here, and now we're running back. So we're just at the end of this bridge. We'll pick up the asset and then take it over towards the rocky overpass. This is the most dangerous part of the return because this is the most trafficked area. Really have to be on your P's and Q's here. This is why I don't like to linger in this area. If there's going to be a fight, it's typically going to be right here. All right, let's boogie. Get on back across. Now remember, when we were leaving Monarchs Bluff town, our flag didn't turn on until we got past this little spot here. So keep that in mind. If you do see someone, their flag is not going to turn on until they pass that spot. So you may have time to kind of get some distance on the target if their flag hasn't activated. So we're going to deliver this asset right over here under this rocky overpass. Again, this is another ambush location if people are alert, especially for ranged players. Definitely drop down on people who are not paying attention, and I have done it many a times. So if you're looking for some easy kills, here's another destination. All right. Turn this in here. And just like in all the other videos, we like to hug the side of the mountain to break line of sight and also keep us from having to look in 4 different directions. One thing about Monarchs Bluff is the safety zone is larger than most other towns. So all we have to do is basically get to the top of this mountain and it will consider us safe. Probably because it's a starter area, I would guess, but you know, that's speculative. As soon as I get up here on this path, we're basically going to be in the safe zone. And voila. So nobody can harm us from here. And we have all of this free run to get back into town without any problem. So that is Monarchs Bluff, and that is a 3 faction mission objective. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much, and make sure you hit like, subscribe, and feel free to make a comment.